All right, man, I'm sitting in with the legend, Coach Davis here at Etowah High School. And Coach, good to get out here and get your show started. I know we're running a little late, but I've been seeing football till my eyes bleed, but we finally got that over with, and it's time for some basketball. And you guys are knee deep in it and have been for a while. I got to come out here and watch you play your opener against Douglas, and you got to win that night. But just all this has moved at rapid pace to get you here. So, you know, from the Blue Devil night to opening tip-off to now, just kind of get us caught up with the program.
Well, the program, you know, Coach Graves left the program in good shape. You know, some of the same stuff he instilled, I'm using, but just adding a little spice to some of my stuff. But the kids, they responding good. I got a good group of kids. I'm young. I got a good middle school group coming up and good youth program going. So, you know, the future for the Blue Devil basketball is good right now.
Yeah, no doubt. I got to watch you guys play opening night, the big win that night against a really good team. When you got moments before you took the floor out there, I know you know, we talked about this in your post. This is kind of your dream job, you know.
Yes.
What was that like, knowing that, okay, this is my squad, I'm about to take the court, this is the place I graduated, this is the place I live? What was those moments like?
Well, you know, you had to take it in, and then, but you can't realize, you got to still be in tone till, you know, we still got a game to play. So, but as I left and came out, you know, like I said, I've been the JV coach with Coach Graves, but being the varsity coach is like, hey, this is yours, this is your program now. So, you know, I had to take a breath and be like, okay, let's, you know, it's really mine. So now it's all on me, you know.
Yeah. I've always heard from coaches, and maybe you can attest to this, when you're a head coach of a program, coaching's about the 10th thing down the list.
Yes.
Whether it's dealing with parents, grades, fundraising, scheduling. Talk about that a little bit, and how has that transition come for you?
Well, like, when Coach Graves, I used to always call him and say, hey, man, we need this, we need that. Hey, let's do this, hey, let's do that. And he always was like, you just don't know what I go through. So now, me being up here at the school and, you know, having to write POs and, you know, we get the kids pizza on the way, buses, had to get the bus routes, and, you know, dealing with kids might not going to school late or acting up, and just, you know, just doing all that stuff. And I was like, wow, you know, really, it's a lot to do. And, you know, in basketball, coming along with basketball, that, like you said, that's about the last thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, but fundraising and trying to get money, you know, like we trying to get lockers and stuff like that, you know, going out, pitching things, trying to get gym floors waxed. Not only that, you know, just trying to find places for our youth to practice and orchestrating all that stuff. So, you know, it was a lot, but like I said, the good Lord didn't put me here for just, you know, so I was ready for it.
I've heard it. That's always, most people are like, man, I had no idea all that. But then they're like, when I do get on the court, it's actually a blessing to get to coach basketball.
Yes.
So I think you can attest to that.
Yes, sir.
What have you learned about this particular group of guys? I know you got, it's sprinkled. You got a couple of older guys, but you got a ton of youth on this team.
Yes. You know, we had 2 seniors. I think we got a few juniors, but the most of them are sophomores, freshmen. And the thing about these group of guys is that they enjoy being around each other. And, you know, you got some that likes the coaching, and then you got some that accept the coaching, but they still in that little kid mode where they pout and stuff like that. But man, I love the way they work. I love the way the program is going, and like I told everybody, you know, we down a little bit because we young. Because I have a group that probably 2 guys played varsity last year.
That's insane.
And only one got meaningful minutes. So we all learn it on the fly, you know. And right now they haven't learned how to close games out and stuff like that, but it's coming.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, don't let none of the kids hear what I'm about to say, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. These games mean something, but they don't mean everything. So if there is a learning curve, it's a perfect time. Area play means something, but it don't mean everything.
Yes.
You want to peak during area tournament.
Yes, sir.
So the mindset of, and a lot of these guys who are super young by then will be seasoned.
Yes.
Talk about that a little bit and the things you got to get done between now and when the area tournament starts.
Well, the thing is, what's hurting us in the later games and stuff is the turnovers, the unforced turnovers. You know, kids thinking and not accepting the coaching sometimes. You know, like I tell them, if you got coaches over there, you need to pick our brain a little bit, you know, because we might know just a tad about a little bit about basketball. So you dealing with that with young kids. Young kids seems to, you know, that's like a kid at home. You tell a kid something to do or something, and then they, you know, they think about it like, you know, is it really what he telling me?
Yeah.
So, you know, but
kind of second guessing.
Yeah, second guessing. But I think the game is moving a little fast for them right now, but it's just about to start to slow down. You know, you're starting to see things that you're like, okay, they starting to pick up on it a little bit.
And that makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
Because when the game starts slowing down, that's when people get in a groove.
Yes.
What have you seen from the guys? I know one thing that you can always count on, and I know Coach Graves did this, and I know you are too, is effort. The guys got to give effort. They're going to be sitting over there beside you. Talk about that a little bit and how these guys are. They're giving effort. I don't mind you making a mistake, but you better be going 100 miles an hour when you do it.
And we talked about that, and you know, with my assistant coaches and stuff like that. So, you brought up a good point. These games matter, but don't matter because it ain't area play. So after Christmas, you want to kind of like see who can help you where and situations and stuff like that. So basically, you know, we playing all the guys. You know, they might not be playing a great deal of minutes right here. So we trying to see who we can fit in there to when times get tough, when we start these area games,
right,
and be ready to come in and play. And we getting familiar with them, how they play, and, you know, effort.
That's right.
Like I tell them, if you can't give me effort, I don't care. You know, if I turn the ball over, I better be running back and trying to get it back.
That's right.
So if you can't do that, then you need to come over here and sit with us for a while.
Come on, have a seat.
Yeah, have a seat and think about it. And I hope, that's why I told the guys, I hope that the guy that I'm putting in off the bench go in there and do great, so I can sit you down for a long time.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
So
here's another thing. For a kid to play in your program, you got kids in the middle school that's going to be playing for you. You may even have guys in the hallways that may come out and play for you eventually. What does a kid have to do to be a part of this program? What would be the first, thing you'd tell if you look a kid in his eyes?
Well, be where you're supposed to be and be accountable for your actions. Like, if you're supposed to practice, come to practice.
That's right.
And if you don't have a way, don't wait and call us 2 minutes before practice. Call us 30 minutes out. We'll get you here.
That's right.
We don't want them kids to have an excuse like, I didn't have a way. We tell them, hey, just call us. Somebody gonna come get you.
Yeah.
But don't call us 2 minutes before practice and then say, hey, coach, I ain't got a way.
That's right.
And and then when you get here, just work as hard as you can.
Yeah.
Pour it out. Pour it out. Leave it right there.
No doubt. Mm-hmm. Same kind of question. This one sometimes ruffles feathers, but I love asking it. I asked Bucky McMillan this, and he gave me one of the best answers I've ever heard since we started this. What about parents of the program? What do you expect out of parents? I know you don't want helicopter moms and dads, but you want them to be a part of it as well. What your thoughts on parents?
My parents, I have an open door policy. You can come watch practice. My thing with parents is don't assume. Don't assume that we mistreating your kid.
Yep.
When your kid come home, he's sad and things ain't going right. Don't assume that the coach is doing something he ain't got no business doing.
That's right.
So when I talk to them, it's always like you can coaches, we look in the stands. We hear stuff.
Oh yeah.
And people bring stuff to us.
No doubt.
But I tell them all the time, if you can help, your kid can help me win, why would I mistreat him?
That's right.
and I'm just not that type of guy. If you want to come and sit and have a conversation with me, and we can chop it up or whatever, I'm gonna tell you, what little Johnny might not be telling you that he's doing at practice.
That's right.
So don't assume that the coach is mistreating your kid when things ain't going right.
That makes sense. No, I like it. I always like, I like to get that out on the table.
Yes.
So people watching this video, they'll understand, you know. Because you're trying to build something here. I mean, this ain't no just hop in here for a year or two and hop out stuff.
Exactly.
This is the real deal. And then the next thing is when you go down this stretch, and we touched on this earlier, you got to have the guys dialed in. They got to be playing their best basketball.
Yes.
Where are some of the areas that you think y'all got to do the most improving on to get them guys to that level?
Well, the thing is, it's the unforced turnovers. Like, we handle pressure sometimes, and then we score, and we be like, And I tell my coaches, the main thing with kids today is if they're not hitting shots, their body language get bad. But when they hitting shots, now they'll run diving bleachers and do all kind of stuff. They feel good.
Yep.
So my thing is trying to get them to keep playing with effort when they ain't hitting shots.
That's right.
Or even if they hitting shots and they throw the ball away, they mess up, they still got they upbeat.
Yep.
And I tell them all the time, if I see a kid out there playing, you should be playing with bad posture.
Yep.
Like, you should be bent over, ready to go at all times.
Ready to
Court
go.
Awareness.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's staying locked in.
Locked in. When you step from this sideline, from the sidelines, and you step out there, it should be locked in. And that's what we trying to get our kids to do.
How hard, let me ask a couple, I know this one's going long, but still, how hard is it coaching nowadays as opposed to like when Coach Riddle and them was there? Because the element of social media, the instant gratification with kids, the attention spans are gone. How much harder is it?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. When we got out of the weight room this morning, I was talking to some of the kids. I said, my coach can and ride me real good. I mean, he can say some things and get on me real hard. And I had parents in the stand, and my parents never ever came and said something like, "Hey, why is he on you?" or "Why is he on that?" Now you got, I coach with passion. I get on them real good, and then I love on them. Like, come in, trying to teach them the little thing. Come in the mornings, hey, say good morning. A lot of kids come in frowned up. I said, y'all don't have nothing to be frowned up about.
That's right.
Come in, say good morning. How you doing, coach? Just little stuff like that. I said, because I provide drinks for you, snacks. I try to provide everything I can for y'all. And you could come in and just say, hey, coach, good morning.
That's
and
it.
Now they a lot of them do it, but a lot of them still come in, frowned up. And I say, hey, your moms, your dads, whoever, they the ones should be frowned up, because hey, they out here working so that you can play and have fun and have a smile on your face. You should never come into a place and be frowned up.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Roof over your head. You ain't got to go work.
Yeah, you eating, and then you come here to play the game.
Probably got a cell phone in your pocket.
Cell phone, brand new shoes, jackets.
Yeah.
Like, even these kids don't value nothing. Like, I pick up jackets and sweatshirts and stuff, and they just leave them, and I have them out for a while. Nobody claims them, so I just get them and give them away.
Yeah.
And parents.
Nobody claims them.
Nobody claims them. And the parent probably at home like, what is that jacket I gave you?
Yeah.
And they probably say, well, somebody got it or something.
Yeah. Man. It's a different era. But I had to ask that because it's just different.
It's real different.
It's another world, and that has to make it harder as a coach.
It's real
to
hard.
deal with that.
Yes.
Finally, before we shut it down, just open floor for you to talk anything related to the program.
Well, the program, like, we got the social media, we got the media here, we got a buzz in the community, with the Blue Devil Madness. We trying to involve the cheerleaders, and I'm trying to get my guys, like today, we got a wrestling match over there. So I want my guys to go support other events and
That's
stuff
right.
like, you know, a baseball game, we go to football games, we went to volleyball games, you know, we going, if the church need us, if anybody need us to do any kind of thing, hand out food or anything, that's the stuff we trying to do. And you know, I'm gonna try to entice them to go see the younger kids. I think our youth basketball start this weekend. You know, spread it out. Hey, let's go to the game here. Let them see your faces and stuff
Yep.
like that. So we just trying to do things like that, get them out, and you know, let
Involved
people
in
see 'em.
community.
Yes, sir.
No, that's huge, man.
Yeah.
Because you don't see it everywhere.
Yes, sir.
That's kind of a lost art form now. And
Yes.
some people, you won't see it at all. You know, that's huge. Well, man, I'll be back here each and every week. We'll dive into some more X's and O's and
Yes, sir.
and games this next coming week. But I just wanted to catch everybody up with the program and the mindset you have moving forward. So I think we've accomplished that today.
Yes, sir.
Coach, I'll see you next week. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Bo.